I'm Mike Huckman at the Bio Buzz Center, where I'm pleased to welcome Jeff Eich, who is Executive Director of External Affairs for Amgen Biosimilars. Mr. Eich, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. It's a great opportunity.
Why don't we start by first taking a step back? There's a lot of talk these days about biosimilars. Explain what they are and what's happening with them right now.
So we're at a critical point in the history of biotechnology where the original medicines are beginning to come off patent, and we're creating new innovative medicines that are increasingly able to treat unmet medical need. And so the opportunity is to create a life cycle for the original biotech medicines that's built around competition, innovation, and patient centricity, and then at the same time to be able to create access for new innovative medicines, or what we call headspace. And so when you think about biosimilars helping patients get access earlier and in a more affordable way, and then innovation being able to be accessed by hospitals, health systems, and patients who don't have treatments, that's really the societal benefit of biosimilars.
And these are primarily, for the benefit of people who are watching, these are mostly infused and injected medications that come in a liquid form, and they're made with a living organism.
These are protein-based medicines, and each medicine is actually distinct. So our version of a medicine is going to be distinct from yours and from another person's. And that is something that's very unique to biosimilars, because it means that a physician is going to have to make a prescription decision for a specific biologic medicine, whether it's a brand or one of the biosimilars. And that's very different than the brand generic paradigm that many people are used to.
And what also may catch a lot of people by surprise is that Amgen is a company that comes out with new so-called branded medications, especially when it comes to biologics. But here, you're also developing biosimilar medications. And in fact, you have how many in your pipeline right
We've
now?
got 9 biosimilar medicines in our pipeline, and it's a very significant investment, well north of $1 billion. And our philosophy is that we know we want to make new medicines for unmet medical need, and those medicines are very expensive to develop. They take a lot of time. We also want to be the company that focuses on access for patients and making sure that patients can access a medicine at the right time and benefit from the full regimen of therapy. And so it's the balance between the two that we're really pleased about, and we think it increases our mission and our ability to serve patients.
But it's not just, in this case with biosimilars, it's not about just developing the medicine. There are still barriers and not clear pathways from a regulatory and legal perspective. So what is Amgen doing to try to address that situation?
That's right. I mean, the FDA is doing a very nice job beginning to regulate and approve biosimilars. The same is happening and has been happening in Europe for many years. You know, there are still some challenges, though. We know that each biologic medicine is going to be distinct, and that medicines are going to have different indications of use or other features. We need to make sure that at a level in which they are paid for by governments and by payers, that they're recognized as individual medicines and single-source drugs. So that's a policy issue that is still ongoing and is going to be very important to creating a market that can be successful for biosimilars over time.
But if you're successful in achieving that pathway, what's going to happen in the clinic? Is it going to be up to the physician and the patient, whether they use a biosimilar or a branded version of that medication? Or is it going to be driven by the insurance companies, so you need to go with the lower priced version?
It's going to be a combination of all of the above. What's really important, though, is that biosimilars can only be successful if patients and physicians opt in and have confidence in biosimilar medicines.
In their safety and their efficacy.
That's right, and that's why we think Amgen has such a great story to tell with our heritage in biotechnology, our commitment to patients, manufacturing at a level that we can be excellent for every patient, every time, and ensuring that when a patient needs access to an Amgen medicine, we can ensure the highest quality supply when the patient needs it.
Essentially, you know what you're doing.
We do.
All right.
We do.
The theme of this year's Bio International Convention is simply the word imagine.
Yes.
So Jeff, I'd like to ask you in closing, imagine what? Fill in the blank.
For me, it's at a personal level, it's that we can cure cancer. I was touched by cancer in our family at a very early age, and I know we're making such incredible progress in this industry towards finding cures for the many different kinds of cancers that disrupt and afflict and really are a horrible scourge for patients around the world. That's what I imagine is in the next 2 to 3 years, we're beginning to roll more and more treatment effects that get to cure. So we're not just treating disease, we're actually looking and fighting for cures for these patients.
Let's all hope that that actually comes to fruition.
Thank you.
Sooner, not later.
Sooner, that's right.
All right. Jeff Eich,
Thank
the
you.
Executive Director of External Affairs for Amgen Biosimilars. Thanks for joining us here at the BioBus Center.